So when you packed up your vehicle, went grabbed your weapon, headed to your staging area, what's the last week been like for you?
It's been hell, to put it plainly, um, because everything has hit us so fast, and it's been very hard to, to catch up with the changing events, right? And so for the last week, it's been day one trying to get intel and understand what the heck we're up against. Number two, let my major and his commanders above him drop plans, and then get gear, get 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 zeroed in, and operate, execute missions. And so what it has been then, therefore, without giving too much details, because my major made sure to tell me that I got to be very careful about what I say. So I'm sorry if I can't be more detailed, but we have been at the forefront of the battles down in the Gaza, what is known as the Gaza envelope. And so we have been operating all along those areas that are very, very hard to work in. We have come under extreme threat for our lives in some cases, right? And also, I would say that the soldiers, of course, are very curious. um, they're not used to people doing interviews,
I
as
bet.
you can tell.
Well, after we're done, be
So
sure and tell them I said hey, and please give them my best. Pick
thank
it
you,
up.
sir. So yeah, so it's so again, it's been drawing up plans, execute, drawing up plans, execute, and of course, get a little sleep. Doron, get a little less sleep, because um, I've been really working around the clock to make sure people know what's happening, trying to plug people in on how to help our guys stay in the fight, because again, we're disconnected from our homes from day one. So of course, the your what's it called in English? You're missing your family is increasing every day. Um, Depending on who your wife and children are, if you have that dynamic, and or is there anybody sick? Okay. One of my men, not the one that operates with me, but one of the men that I know here that serves in our bigger group here. For example, his wife is battling cancer, and she just went in for her next chemo treatment while he's here. And we're having to, discuss that and trying to help him process that hellish reality. Just a minute. Okay, that's our people. We're good. Whew.
Yeah.
Good. So, um, we're yes, sir. So it's you can imagine. So everybody has a different dynamic. I've been very blessed with a very strong woman and a very strong family dynamic that is helping the home front. Simultaneously, my brother-in-law, who is a pastor of a church in Dallas, Texas, at Uncommon Church, I think it's called Uncommon Church, in Dallas, Texas. They have a big Israel flag that they put up, and their church is off of one of the interchanges or highways there. So like whoever's driving past there sees this big Israel flag at the church, and so he's come in and left his wife and kids back home in the States to help us, right? To help us via my instruction of, I'll give you an example, because we rush to the battlefield and to our mission objectives, then you have to catch up with logistics and whatever, right? It just is what it is, because my guys they're pipe hitters. They're eager. They want to get in the fight. We don't need anything fancy. Just give us weapons and we'll sleep on the dirt if we have to. So at the same time, we're older and we need better sleeping conditions than we used to, be able to tolerate. So we got air mattresses for everybody, right? So we can basically save our backs and whatever limbs, um, and stuff like that. Little things like that that it's pinpointed, right? Because I'm here, I know what's needed. Again, there's a lot of civilians and a lot of efforts to support the troops and money that's being raised, but it's a lot of it also unfortunately gets wasted on things we don't need. So that's my mission, is to use my nonprofit that I have in the States, which
Yeah. What is
has
that?
been, what's the nonprofit?
Yep. I've linked to it in the past, but what is
Yes,
it?
sir.
People find it?
It's called, if you just go to our website, it's cryforzion.com. That nonprofit is for educating on Israel and the Temple Mount and all that pertains to that. But also, it's actually a caveat from what I did back in 2012 called Project Gideon, inspired from the story of the biblical story of Gideon, the few against the many. And
Write about it in the first book.
so, yes, sir, that's right. I remember that. And so I thought that was cool, of course. And so what I did is I raised funds to help direct funds directly to the soldiers so that we were ready for the next battle from the lessons learned from 2006 war, Lebanon war, the second Lebanon war. And so I started Project Gideon. And so it's all the same account. It's just that the naming and the education has changed, but it's the same 501c3 that basically meets different specific needs. And one is preparing communities to defend themselves. So I'm, for example, purchasing weapons for people that are going to get their gun license now, and that I've preached to years for to get your gun license. I'm like, brother, you serve in the special forces, get a freaking gun. What is wrong with you? I don't need it, And now he calls me up and I said, hey, how's it feel to be unarmed? And so I said, get your paperwork together and I will buy you a gun. It's that simple. So that's example of where those funds go. It's where it's needed, and it's just like you execute any mission, right? You're on the ground, you see what you need, you adjust, you better your position, you make adjustments where needed, and then you're smoother in your operation. And so that's what I'm doing for my guys, and then other guys all throughout that are feeding me with intel and saying, I'll give you another example. Up in the north, we just took care of a group of guys of the first responders I talked about that needed communications, radio communications. Done. We got it. We have the funds because of people like you who have been sending support to us and praying for us. That makes us make that happen for these people and meet the needs where they're needed. And it's not just random, let's buy 100 radios and then just to distribute it randomly. No, I'm meeting specific needs, and I don't just give every guy who comes knocking on my door saying, I need this. I say, okay, what are you doing? What's your operation? What's your plan? If you're not serious, you're not getting nothing from me, with all due respect. And that's where those funds are going. They're going to the most dire needs to help in the most important areas.